With the outbreak of the Civil War in 1861, African Americans, like the country itself, were plunged into chaos. Their freedom at stake, they risked everything for victory. 5 years later, slavery was over. But what would freedom really mean? Although their status remained as uncertain as the war itself, the contraband sought to live as fully free men and women. Even in the midst of squalid camps, they pursued a privilege long denied to slaves, learning to read and write. Some contraband began their education here, on what is today the campus of Hampton University, one of the country's oldest black colleges. It was all made possible by a visionary teacher named Mary Peak. For Peak, an educated woman of color, liberating the mind was as important as freeing the body. Before the war, she had taught slaves in secret, defying the law. But in Union-occupied Hampton, Virginia, those laws no longer applied. Peak conducted her lessons beneath the branches of this oak tree, which incredibly still stands today.
No one even knew at the beginning of the war if a Union victory would even lead to the abolition of slavery.
No.
So why would she do it?
I think that, like a lot of blacks, she saw this as an opportunity.
She was passionate about using her skills, her talents and abilities to help uplift the community.
Mary Peak's contraband students let nothing keep them from learning.
There was a mother and a daughter. They were living in this tent. They had one dress between the two of them. And so during the day, the daughter would wear the dress and go to school and then come back after school, and the mother would then do some work and then go to night school. So they shared a single dress between the two of them.
How quickly does her school grow?
It starts with a handful, but then quickly they're 50, then they're 100. She ended up with 900 students.
900 students.
What she was trying to do was to prepare people to really be full citizens.
Well, the Klan of the 20s, most of them, they lived. They seen the violence of the Reconstruction era. They knew what the niggers were about. And it was the communists to come in here, like I said, in 1917, and want to set them free and put them on an equal plane with us. They're not our equals.
Public schools had been segregated in the South since the Civil War, and the schools for blacks were in no way equal to those for whites. Thurgood Marshall, one of the lawyers on the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, argued that the segregated schools gave blacks a badge of inferiority. Little Linda Brown's case would be the center of the fight to remove this badge.
Linda was a 7-year-old girl who went to school in Topeka, Kansas. We can clearly remember how her father, Oliver, told her story in the local court. He said how Linda had to walk through a dangerous train switching yard, wait for a bus in all types of foul weather, climb on the bus that was often late, and spend another 30 minutes on the bus to get her to her all-black school, sometimes waiting a half hour before the doors open. The problem? The local white school, called Sumner School, was only 7 blocks away.